Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 916th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. Just to say, this is the first time that I've put a battle fought on this map onto our YouTube channel. This is one of our new custom maps. If you notice here, you've got lots of woods. If you want to bring a barbarian faction for the woods bonus there. Okay, as we move further on up the map, you'll see that the ground is also undulating on this map. You can see the rise and fall of the ground there, if you notice. So that makes, I think, the battle even more interesting there, where you've got undulating ground, where teams can try and get onto the higher part of the undulating ground. And we move further on up here, you can see there's a hill there, but it's a hill that's even to both teams, if you notice there. And of course you've got some more woods. As I say, if you want to bring the barbarian factions, you know, they get the woods bonus there. Okay, so it's quite an interesting custom map, this one. As I say, it's the first time I've put a battle fought on this map on our YouTube channel. So just have to see what you think as you watch the battle. Okay, our first teammate is GoTW Romex, who's bought the Macedonian faction. Now he's got 12 pikes, 3 archers, and 5 chariots. Okay. And there you are, you can count the upgrades there. He's got 8 upgrades, 2 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his Pontus pikeman. And just look at the length of those pikes that our team, that the enemy team are going to have to fight down to kill the man on the other end. And of course he's got his chariots there. And he's got the scythe chariots with their big attacking specifications, a big fear factor they bring. But of course, like we've said in many battle videos before, if they run amok, they kill both friend and foe alike, and become a menace to both friend and foe alike. And I've always said, if you're not confident or competent with chariots, you really need to think about whether you want to bring them or not, because as I say, when they run amok and they start killing your allies' troops, you can become unpopular quite quickly. I think he's got 2 chariot archer units as well there. These are fast moving, they can form Cantabrian circles, and they are a useful units, you know, a couple of units to have in your Pontus army there. So it's nice to see Pontus on one of our 31k battles there. And of course the rest of his chariots will be hiding in the woods. Okay, so our next teammate is Brotherhood member Fesen. Now Fesen's got 11 infantry, 6 cavalry and 3 archers. If I remember correctly, I think he's got mixed infantry, but we can't see most of them, as you can see, because they're hiding in the woods. There you are, he's got his archers there. And here's an interesting unit that he started to bring recently, the Auxiliary Light Infantry. If you notice, they carry spears, so they are anti-cavalry. And if you put them in front of your main infantry battle formation, as long as they hold their ground, they'll soak up pillars as good as any other expensive unit. So that's quite a good move for him. As I say, these units that we can see here have only got gold shield, gold attack on, but I think he's got 7 upgrades on a lot of his infantry, if I remember correctly, and his cavalry have got 7 upgrades, an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry. So make no mistake, that would be a tried and tested Fesen army there. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Spark, who's bought the Macedonian faction. Now he's just got 8 pikes, and then he's got 6 archers and 6 cavalry. Okay. Quick look at the upgrades on his pikes. I'm thinking probably 8. Yep, 8 upgrades. Remember, that's the optimum upgrades for a Macedonian royal pikeman there. 2 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. And once again, just look at the length of those pikes that the enemy troops are going to have to fight down to kill the man on the other end. Okay, then he's got his long-range Cretan archers. And of course, he's got his companion cavalry. I'm thinking probably 7 upgrades on... Yep. 1, 2, yeah, an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack on his companion cavalry. Remember, like we've talked about before, these are sometimes called the winged horsemen because of the wings on their helmet. And remember, they got that massive 9 charge bonus. And remember, the charge bonus is the impact and penetration that a unit can do. So here are an interesting Macedonian army, but only 8 pikes. Do you think that's enough for the modern day battlefield? Well, as the battle unfolds, I guess we'll just see. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander. Got his very old Roman army of 15 infantry and just 4 cavalry. Okay, 15 infantry and 4 cavalry. So there's our team. Quite a diverse team, I think, really, with Pontus. We got Rome there. We've got Macedon. And we've got Rome. It should be a cracker for you to watch. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Get Jacked with the Seleucid faction. Now he's got an unusual Seleucid army because he has got 14 Silver Shield Legionnaires and 6 cavalry. Check out the upgrades there. You'll see that he's just got 3 upgrades on those 2 forward units. So I'm thinking that's probably gold defense there. And of course, that's all he needs for his forward units of that battle formation. But then if you look at the rest of his legionnaires, you'll see that they've only got 6 upgrades on as well. So it looks like all his infantry are just gold shield, gold attack there. And if you look closely, can you see how much they really do look like Roman urban cohorts, don't they? They are pretty good infantry, but of course they haven't quite got those specifications that urban cohorts have got. So as I say, unusual to see an all silver shield infantry Seleucid army. And also here you'll notice that he's bought the companion cavalry here. Can you see these are the winged horsemen? Remember, like the Macedonians have got companion cavalry, well, so is the Seleucid. So he hasn't gone for the heavy cataphract cavalry. He's gone for the companion cavalry here. So as I say, it's an unusual Seleucid army, I would suggest there. Be interesting to see how well it does during the course of the battle. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Barclayman, who has got his faction of choice, Carthage. Now he's got 14 Sacred Band Spearmen, 2 slingers and 2 cavalry. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry. Got 7 upgrades in experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack. And of course the bulk of his spearmen will be hiding in the woods there. Okay, so as I say, he's got 14 Sacred Band Spearmen there. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Tabor. Now Tabor's just got 8 infantry. Yes, just 8 infantry, 6 cavalry and 6 archers. Okay, and if you notice here on his infantry, he's just got gold shield, gold attack on his infantry there. And so I think possibly fully upgraded. Oh my gosh, count the upgrades: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry, 3 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. That of course takes him out of the elite bracket into the super cavalry bracket. But I've got a question for you all here. Okay, did 6 archers, okay, and 6 fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry make up for just 8 infantry on the modern day battlefield? What do you think? Please put your thoughts in the comments. I'd be interested to hear what you think about that, and it'll be interesting to see how well it does during the course of the battle. And their last teammate is Brotherhood member Royer 45, who's bought the Britannia faction. Now he's got quite an unusual army as well. He's got 14 chosen swordsmen and 6 chariots there. If you look at the upgrades on his chosen swordsman, I think he's got is it 8 upgrades there? They're so close together it's difficult to tell, but I think he might have 2 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his chosen swords. Remember, they've got excellent morale like urban cohorts, and as I say, he's got 14 of them. And then of course he's got the chariots. Now remember that Britannia have got 2 lots of chariots. Okay, they got the heavy chariots that are about 580 denarii each, which have got 3 hit points, or these barbarian warlord chariots that are over 1,000 denarii each, but they've got 5 hit points. Now over the years I've tried both types of chariots, and I was always advised these barbarian warlord chariots, those extra hit points really do make a difference in battle. So it'll be interesting to see how he uses these chariots during the course of the battle there. As I say, unusual Britannia army there. Can you notice anything missing? No head hurlers. He's got no head hurlers at all there, just 14 chosen swordsmen and 6 barbarian warlord chariots. Quite a diverse team too. You've got Seleucid with Get Jacked. You've got Carthage with Barclayman. You've got Rome with Tabor. And you've got Britannia here with Royer 35. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle area, I can see, do you remember we looked at where Barclayman's infantry were hiding in that clump of trees? You can see them now coming out of that clump of trees there. And if you notice up on the higher part of the ground here, you'll see that Get Jacked is moving his Seleucid army down from the higher ground here. Now, I don't know what all of you are thinking, but did you think the enemy team might have moved up onto the higher ground there for the high ground advantage? I don't know what all of you are thinking. Please leave your thoughts in the comments there. But as I say, they're definitely on the higher ground, and he's moving his troops down the higher ground there. Now, I would think myself that Romex now will bring his army across there where the Seleucid army was and say thanks very much, and now I'm on the higher ground. I don't know what all of you are thinking. Remember, on these custom maps with the undulating ground and the hills and stuff like that, using the ground is very, very important. It's a really good tactical and strategic move, I think, you know, when you choose the right ground. Here you can see their Britannia ally. They all seem to be moving over to the centre here, from what I can see. And there you are. Talk about undulating ground. Can you see that there's a bit of higher ground there that maybe Tabor might have thought about running up onto that higher ground? Because you can see how far back we are. You see what I mean? Grabbing that higher ground there might have been a good tactical movement. Do you see what I mean? There. And he would have been on the higher ground above us then. But if you notice now, what I'm going to do, I've seen that higher ground, and if I remember correctly, I'm running over to it as fast as I can with my Britannia army there. But as I say, over here on the enemy's left flank there, as I say, you can see that Get Jack now has pulled his Seleucid army down from the higher ground here towards his allies. So, as I say, maybe I don't know what all of you think there, but I think giving up higher ground advantage, or, well, it wasn't advantage really, was it, because it's even there, but giving up high ground, I think, would be an unusual move. Please leave your thoughts in the comments there. But as I say, here you can see, as we thought, Romex now is bringing his Pontus army across here. And as you can see, he has got the whole of the higher ground now. You can see that the companion cavalry there of Get Jacked is also moving down into the centre there, where the enemy army has decided, the team there has decided to form up. Here you can see the fast moving warlord chariots there of Royer. He may well be looking at archers there. He may well be looking at possibly the Pontus archers there, and you can see him see how fast and smooth those chariots move. And he's going to smash into that chariot archer unit there. That chariot unit's going to smash in there. Remember that chariots are not that effective in woods, of course, because you know, the trees obviously would slow down the charge bonus and things like that there. But I think up against an archer unit, that chariot unit will probably prevail there, especially if he's persistent there. I'm surprised that archer unit hasn't routed yet. It wouldn't surprise me if that chariot unit turned back on it. There you are, look, and bang, as it charges back in there, trying to take that archer unit out. That was a lightning move there by Royer there with that chariot unit. Well, over here, look, remember that higher ground I showed you earlier? There you are. Can you see? As I say, I was running over to that as fast as I could. Now, if you notice there, I've grabbed the higher ground that the enemy could have ran forward and taken before we even got there. So now, can you see that I've taken advantage of the higher ground? And you can see Fesen's moving his infantry forward as well there. So as I say, ground, moving to different parts of the ground on maps is very, very important. Here you can see Spark's got one of his Cretan archers there, targeting the enemy archers there. But as I say, on these undulating ground maps, taking advantage of the higher ground is very, very important. It's really tactical and strategic to do that, I think, there. And as I say there, you can see both Fesen and myself have grabbed that higher ground. And of course, Spark's archers now have got longer range because they're on the higher ground. Remember, on the higher ground, archers' arrows go further and do more damage. So there you are. We've taken full advantage there of the higher ground on this undulating ground map. Okay, so there you are. You can see it looks like Royer's finally routed that archer unit. You'll be very careful of those Pontus pikes, though, which he'll keep away from. Right, now I wanted to show you this. Can you see Royer is bringing his Britannia chariots over here? Okay, now can you see there's a massive gap between Romex and Fesen there? See that massive gap between them both there? And Royer here, a really good tactical, strategic battlefield awareness move, I think, is moving his chariots in between Romex and Fesen there. And what I would think he's going to do with those chariots is bring them around here, okay, and then go into the woods. He may well go into the woods there, in behind our armies there. And I think that would be a really good tactical move there for Royer if he did that, because imagine if he gets in behind us. Once we get engaged, he could just charge forward and smash into the rear of our engaged troops with the chariots. Now remember, these Britannia warlord chariots are thought to be pound for pound the best chariots in the game. They don't run amok, remember that? And there you are, you can see all those chariots there heading over to, as I say, an advantageous position, probably in behind us. There is what Royer is thinking there. Oh, there's a lost chariot. I think I can hear him shouting out, wait for me, as he's running over there. Oh, and another one too, look. Oh my gosh, wait for me, they're shouting as they try and get to the rest of their charioteers there. But as I say, that's a good tactical move of Royer there. And as I say, it wouldn't surprise me if he moved into the woods then in behind us there, and make sure he keeps his archers out of arrow range there, out of archer range. There's another charioteer trying to catch up with his allies there. But yeah, nice little move there by Royer, I thought. Nice tactical, and I say, a battlefield awareness move there. But as I say, here you can see we've clearly grabbed the higher ground that the enemy did have a chance of grabbing before we could even get there. And as I say, you can see the Macedonian Cretan archers there making the most of the higher ground as well, shooting at the enemy archers there. So you can see that the enemy have kind of centralized there. They've got all their armies in that one place. And here you can see Romex moving his Pontus pikes down the hill, and he's got his chariots on the higher ground in the woods up here. Look. So when he's ready, he could charge, and they will have a downhill bonus there, as you can see, if he wants to charge them into the flank of enemy troops there. So it'll be interesting to see what Romex is going to do on this flank. Here you can see Seleucid archer unit. Looks like he's targeting the Pontus archer unit there, but also he could target the Pontus pikemen. Remember, the Macedonian and Pontus pikemen are very susceptible to any kind of missile damage at all. Oh, and there we are, what we talked about a little bit earlier. You can see the Britannia chariots are now in behind us in the woods, and as I say, he'll be making sure that he keeps those chariots out of archer range, but just keep them there ready to smash into the rear of us once we get engaged with the enemy troops there. So as I say, a nice move there by Royer. And as I say, when he saw that gap between Romex and Fesen there, very good battlefield awareness, I thought. But as I say, here you can see the enemy team have completely formed up there, and I think now if you look, it looks to me like they've backed up onto a little bit of higher ground. Remember, on these undulating ground maps, you know, there's sometimes very often higher ground just where you don't expect it, and with all the dips and everything like that, it's, as I say, it's good to take advantage there. You can see them up on the higher ground a little bit there. Good to take advantage of the higher ground here. As I say, on undulating ground maps, moving on to the higher ground is, as I say, a very good tactical and strategic move that any general would do in a real battle, I think. Right, here you can see Romex moving his Macedonians there, his Macedonian pikemen there towards the enemy troops. Alright, let's just pause the game for a second here. Okay, so over here you'll see that Fesen's got his archers out the front of our infantry there, making sure that he's shooting loads of arrows as he sees those Roman troops move back. Obviously those Roman troops will be showing the rear to those archers. Remember that on our Rome Total War, the rear of any unit is the weakest point. So whether Fesen will be shooting into the rear of those Roman troops as they were moving away from him, I'm not sure there, but hopefully he was anyway. So there you can see our troop disposition there, and you can see that can you see, I just want to show you something here, that Spark, can you see how he spread his Macedonian pikes out? This is like the modern way of using Macedonian pikes. He's got some over there as well. You know, the old tight battle formations that we've seen pikes in the past. I see a lot of, or several newer players using pikes and spears in a very modern way in comparison to the old-fashioned way. of what we were using them for years. Right, here you can see the archers there of Fesen. Once again, looks like he's shooting into the flank of those moving Seleucid legionnaires. Right. Okay, so as I say, this is a very unusual Seleucid army of Get Jacked, where he's brought all silver shield legionnaires. Now you can see why he's running forward here, can't you? Right, okay, obviously here what he wants to do is throw loads of pilers into these Pontus pike units here. He wants to really weaken them before he attacks them. Okay, now bearing in mind here that Romex has got his chariots on the higher ground here, okay, ready for a downhill charge. Get Jacked better be ready for that, because obviously when Romex is engaged by those silver shield legionnaires, my guess is he's going to charge those chariots down and smash into the flank of those Seleucid silver shield legionnaires there. Okay, so just get ready for the mass of pilers that's going to go into those pikemen. Now remember, those Pontus pike units are 121 man units, and just see those Seleucid pilers going into those units there. Okay, he's really going to weaken them. Just it's like it's raining pilers down onto those Pontus pikes there. Okay, so he's really damaging them. And remember, the units that are damaged, their morale drops, their battle proficiency drops, and they are more susceptible to routing. Now remember, those Pontus pike units are 121 man units. This unit here has been reduced to 10 men, okay, without any hand-to-hand combat. That is the casualties that it suffered there. So it suffered, what's that, 111 deaths there by pilers. Look, that's reduced to 75 from 121, and this was reduced to 72 from 121. So it just goes to show the damage that those silver legionnaires pilers have done. Plus he's got his companion cavalry there as well, and there you are, he's really being aggressive with those silver shield legionnaires. Look how he's charging them in there. I mean, very aggressive, and he's got his cavalry here. But has he remembered that those chariots are above him on higher ground? And that those chariots will probably, I would have thought, be thundering down that hill in a minute. There you are, you can see that Tabor has brought his 8 Scipii infantry over as well. A lot of pressure being put on Romex. Right, here comes the chariots, here they come, and bang! As the downhill chariots are smash into that companion cavalry. Just look at all those chariots with the downhill bonus that they're getting there, attacking those companion cavalry there. Oh my gosh. Let's just pause the game for a second here. So there you are, you can see he's even alt-attacked by the looks of it his chariot archers there as well, because they're involved in charging down there as well. But you can see that I think that's all of his chariots now are smashing in to these companion cavalry here with the downhill advantage that they had. You could just see them charging in. There's another group going to smash in to those companions. Here they come, going to smash in there, and bang! As they charge into that companion cavalry there. In fact, I think that companion cavalry is holding well against the downhill chariot charge that it just received. In fact, if you notice there, most of the Pontus units are now routing. Most of those Pontus chariot units have now been routed there. Pause the game for a second. Now over here you'll see that Spark is bringing over some reinforcements there. He's bringing some of his Macedonian pikemen over here to help on this right flank. If you notice that, he's moving over there to help, because I think there's a lot of pressure on our right flank. You'll see that also Spark is taking his cavalry. I'm guessing he's going to move up onto the higher ground there. If he moves up onto the higher ground, once again he'll have the downhill charge bonus there with his cavalry. But you can see there's a heck of a lot of movement now by the enemy troops. Okay, now you'll see here that Fesen's moved his infantry forward here towards the enemy Scipii and those Seleucid legionnaires there as well. He's throwing a lot of pilers into that Scipii unit there. Once again, you can see it's almost raining pilers down onto that unit, causing it a lot of casualty. Reduce it to 33 from 82, look, already, just from pilot damage. Now, just to let you know that my job for the team here is to shadow Carthage. Okay, that's who I'm shadowing there. I'm going to be shadowing the Carthage army there, so that's why I haven't moved over yet. But you can see there those Britannia chariots, remember, that were in behind us? It looks like Royer's not going to attack us from behind. It looks like he's going to take his chariots over to the right flank there. Maybe looking to attack my cavalry, possibly. That could be what he's planning to do. Right, you can see my green Brutii cavalry moving up the hill there. And you can see the chariots moving over here as well. Now, of course, what I want to do really with my cavalry is to take it away from those chariots, because very often chariots can chop up cavalry. So if you notice there, I'm starting to, and plus there's a muck Pontus chariot there as well that I've noticed I'd like to get away from as well. Pause the game for a second here. Now remember, I was hoping at the time that Amok Pontus chariot might well slow down or cause some casualties to that Britannia warlord chariot unit heading towards my cavalry. But there you can see that they're almost clashing there, aren't they? That Amok Pontus chariot there and that Britannia. Oh, they've killed that Pontus chariot there. But there you are, you can see those Britannia chariots coming in to attack my cavalry. Now, if you notice here, I noticed Spark was bringing a pike unit across here. Okay, now we know pikes that kill chariots really quickly. So rather than running away from the Britannia chariots, what I was thinking, and bearing in mind that I'll have a downhill advantage as well, is charge into those chariots, and that will give Spark time to get his pike unit over there, and maybe between us we could possibly take out the whole of the Britannia chariots here. Okay, can you see there? Now what I need to do now is attack. I got the downhill charge bonus there. There you are, can you see? I'm going to attack downhill, and you can see Spark bringing that pike unit across as well. So as I said, between us we may well be able to take out all the Britannia chariots here, which would be a really good move for our team. There you are, can you see? I'm charging into that chariot unit, into those chariot units again. I wouldn't normally do this, but I know that Spark's bringing a pike unit across, and I know I've got the downhill charge bonus as well. Just look at that fighting there. Oh my gosh, it does look like between us, this is good news, between us I think we've routed all the Britannia chariots. So that is really good teamwork there, I think, from both Spark and myself there to take out a very powerful and potent group of units there. Here you can see that Carthage and enemy Scipii troops, as well as the Seleucid troops, are all pressing in on Pontus. There's pikes there. And you can see the Carthage troops are starting to move, so I'm starting to move my Brutii troops over. Remember, I'm shadowing Carthage there, trying to keep those Carthage spears away from the Macedonian pikes. You can see here, it's a real vicious battle going on there between those Carthaginian spearmen and the pikes of Pontus there. And if you look there, can you see that the enemy look like they got slightly higher ground, don't they? Do they look like they're on a little bit of higher ground to you, pushing down onto those Pontus pikes? You can see that Spark's got his cavalry and some pike units above the enemy troops now on the higher ground, which is a good move there. You can see the Seleucid general there taking some of his Silver Shield legionnaires round the flank of Romex's pike units there and routed one of his pike units there. You can see that Sparks brought some of his Macedonian pikemen over to try and cover that flank of our Pontus ally there. Okay, so that's a good bit of cover there by Spark, trying to protect our Pontus allies' flank. Okay, but here you can see those Carthage Sacred Band. Remember, Carthage Sacred Band punches above its weight when it comes to the big 121-man units. And as I say, over here I've got my cavalry locked and loaded on the higher ground and ready to charge down. And you can see that our Macedonian ally Spark has got his pikes and cavalry on the higher ground as well, ready to charge down into the enemy team when we feel the time is right. But here, unfortunately, it looks like our Pontus ally, if he's not careful, what worries me with the pressure on his units there, and Pontus hasn't got very good morale, he could mass rout. And of course, that would be really bad for us there. There you are, you can see the Seleucid general, no, the Scipii general there, Tabor, taking units around the flank of Romex. They're really pushing in there. Make no mistake, they're really trying to rout Romex's army there. Right, you can see I've moved my green Brutii army up now towards the Seleucids. And I'm going to get ready to throw a lot of pilers into them as well. Right, let's just pause the game for a second here. So here you can see, unfortunately, our Pontus general, allies general there, has now been routed. So we've lost the general morale bonus there. In fact, you can see, oh my gosh, has all the Pontus pike units been routed now? It looks like most, if not all, of the Pontus pikes have now been routed. And the enemy troops are pushing forward now. Oh my gosh. So things not looking very good for us. Fesen's bringing his army across here. He may well try and attack the Carthaginians there, or come in on the flanks of the Seleucids. We just have to wait and see. But I think from what I can see here, all the Pontus pikes have basically now been routed. So all of Romex's troops, his pikes, have been routed now. Here you can see I'm throwing a lot of pilers into the Seleucid Silver Shield Legionnaires there. And you can see Fesen attacking with his red Julii infantry into the flank of those Seleucid Silver Shield Legionnaires there. So that was a good move there by Fesen. But here you can see, as I say, the Scipii, the blue Scipii army, and the Carthaginians have broken through here. They've routed our Pontus ally now, and they have actually broken through and could look to come around the flank of my infantry. You got Sparks pikes here. I'm guessing he's going to run forward to try and step into the breach there. And you can see that he's also got pike units above the enemy as well. But make no mistake, with all of Romex pikes being routed now, the enemy have got an advantage on us. So you can see me moving my Brutii army more around to the flank of the enemy team there. Okay, but as I say, you can see the victorious Scipii infantry and the Carthaginians have broken through there at that particular point of our battle line there. And you can see those Scipii troops attacking my Brutii infantry in the flank. But here you can see Fesen moving forward. Now he needs to be careful there, because there's a heck of a lot of enemy cavalry that could well smash into him there on that flank. Do you think he might look a little bit exposed to a cavalry hit? And you can see the enemy reforming there now. The Carthage and Scipii troops reforming. But as I say, all of Romex's pikemen now have been taken out. And I'm not sure about his chariots. I'm not sure about... I think we saw them all routed earlier, didn't we, by the Seleucids? So at the moment here, the enemy team are doing pretty good. Here you can see them definitely on higher ground there. Higher slope anyway, at least. Coming down into Fesen's red Julii army. And as I say, he needs to be careful, because there is a lot of cavalry. I see there's companion cavalry, sacred band cavalry, and a Praetorian cavalry. I need to move, I think, my Brutii army forward a bit there. And I think Spark will probably move his pikes forward as well. But as I say, here you can see both Spark and myself have got units on the higher ground there, ready to charge down when we feel the time is right to get that downhill or down slope advantage there. But as I say, I think the enemy forming up there. You can see the Britannia chosen swordsmen there with their excellent morale. And you can see the Carthaginians there and the Scipii infantry there. I think this could be a hard nut to crack. As I say, especially now. Uh-oh, there goes that cavalry charging in the Fesen's infantry. And bang! With their 9 charge bonus. Then the Sacred Band cavalry coming down there like a bang! Charging in there as well. I suppose again for a second here. So as I say, Fesen looked a bit exposed to cavalry attacks to me. You can see a great cavalry attack there by the enemy team. Could have been coordinated a little bit better maybe, because the Scipii cavalry could have charged in the same time as the companion cavalry. But as I say, Fesen's under a lot of pressure there. As you can see, all that enemy cavalry just charging into him there. Look. More Scipii cavalry there. You can see that Scipii cavalry going to charge in there as well. And bang! As it charges in there. I can see the Seleucid general though has been routed, so that's good news for us. But just look at all that cavalry smashing into the red Julii army of Fesen there. I think he's doing really well to hold. I see there's Britannia, chosen swordsman, charging forward as well. But I can see a lot of enemy units have been routed there. I can see Sparks moved a couple of his pike units over there as well. And you can see that Fesen counter-attacked with his cavalry. But they make no mistake here, the enemy can smell blood here, I think. And they want to try and break our left flank here by taking out Fesen. Just look at all the resources they've put in there. But well done to Spark, bringing reinforcements over here to try and help Fesen. But you can see that all the resources that the enemy troops have put in that are trying to break our left flank. You can see that the Macedonian general and the Julii general there side by side, giving a morale bonus to their troops. You can see Fesen's archers shooting in to the enemy troops there. And as I say, I think what I need to do is move forward with my Brutii troops there to try and engage the enemy. But as I say, over here, both Spark and myself have got units above the enemy troops there that we could start moving in to try and get them to shift resources to the rear of their team there, rather than attacking the Fesen's infantry there. So as I say, just look at the pressure on Fesen there. But as I say, Spark's got some of his pike units over there, which will be taking a lot of pressure off of Fesen there. But as I say, just look at the number of troops that the enemy have put in there, trying to crack our left flank there. As I say, with my Brutii infantry, I've thrown in a lot of pilers, but I think I need to move forward now to support Fesen. Even though it's going to be up that slope there. But here you can see Barclayman's put a couple of his spear units in there to try and stop us attacking at the rear. There you are, you can see I've thrown my 3 battle damaged cavalry into the rear of the enemy troops there, like, and bang, as that unit hits. So you can see, I can see a lot of enemy troops starting to rout now, but Fesen's lost a lot of troops on that flank as well. And as I say here, you can see Spark bringing pike units and cavalry units there. I think there's a chariot unit there of Romex that he's had hiding in the woods that he's bringing out now as well. So with that downhill advantage we got, we could charge into the rear of those engaged enemy troops. But you can see the pressure on Fesen's red Julii infantry there. I mean, a heck of a lot. In fact, as he lost all his cavalry, it looks like Fesen may well have lost all his Julii cavalry there as well, as the enemy troops advance. A lot of pressure there on the enemy troops. Now in a minute you're going to see a good tactical attack move and a good bit of teamwork that I wanted to show you in this battle. If you notice there, I've just moved my infantry battle formation around a little bit there. There's a reason for that. But as you can see at the rear of the enemy team, Spark is causing a lot of mischief and mayhem with his cavalry and pikes. Nice move there by him. There you are, you can see he's got his cavalry and infantry at his pikemen there. Right now, what I'm going to show you here, can you see that the enemy in front of me are very battle damaged, and I think it's time for a surge attack. Now I don't usually like surge attacking uphill, okay, it's something I don't usually do, but I think looking at the weakened enemy in front of me here, a good solid old school surge attack, and then maybe Spark's cavalry smashing in behind them as well, this could be a really good tactical move here. Okay, so here we are. Can you see Spark charging his cavalry down here? See my infantry moving as well to engage the enemy troops, and bang! What a fantastic hammer and anvil, great attack there. My infantry being the anvil and Spark's cavalry being the hammer there with their 9 charge bonus. Okay, that was a nice move. But what I'm going to do with my infantry, I'm going to keep the surge attack moving forward there. Can you see my green Brutii infantry? I'm trying to get up onto the higher ground here a little bit, and then I'm going to go sideways. I'm going to charge left in a surge attack there. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I want to keep the momentum going of this surge attack. into the flank of the engaged enemy troops. You can see Spark there taking his cavalry round, smashing into the enemy troops. He's got pikes there as well. And here, and you can see there a lot of dead chariots there. I think that's where the Pontus chariots were taken out earlier on in the battle. But as I say, with my Brutii infantry, I'm going to keep the surge attack, keep the momentum of the surge attack going forward here. If you notice, can you see I'm now going to charge left across the enemy troops, smashing into the flank and rear of engaged troops there. As you see my Brutii army forward, I'm going to keep surge attacking. It's not just one surge attack. You keep that surge attack going over and over again. You keep the pressure on the enemy troops with this old school, old-fashioned surge attack there. Okay, see, moving forward again, surging forward again. And there you are, can you see Spark charging his cavalry in once again here. Great teamwork there, I think, by myself and Spark there. And now can you see the enemy team starting to rout from left to right as the surge attack of my Brutii infantry starts to tell on those engaged troops there. Okay, nice hammer and anvil attack there. If you notice that Fesen's infantry and the pikes of Spark there with the anvil, and my Brutii infantry doing that old school surge attack was the hammer there. Can you see that? And it looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle there. But it's quite a spread out battle. If you notice there, all the way over here in the trees, do you remember? This is where Spark and myself took out the Britannia chariots there. You can see there a lot of dead chariots. See a lot of my dead cavalry as well there. But we took out the Britannia chariots there. And over here, if you look at the dead, if you look closely, can you see that's mostly Pontus pikemen dead there? And of course, most of those were killed by pilas there. But you can see the dead there. And then over here, you can see cavalry and chariot. That's where those Pontus chariots charged downhill and charged into those companion cavalry there of Get Jacked. And as we move further across the battlefield here, this is where the real kind of grinding part of the battle was here. You could just see the mass of enemy dead there. Well, our dead and enemy dead. Massive cavalry battle there. Look at that. All those cavalry dead there. That's where they charged into Fesen, wasn't it? There, you can see where Fesen's cavalry fought to the last man. And as I say here, it's just a case now of I think just finishing off the last of the few enemy units that are left. I think if I remember right, I think it was just Barclayman. I think he was the last enemy member to admit defeat, I think. But as you can see here, our team has managed to go on to win the battle. Just thought, push pause the game for a second. I think Romex has just got 2 units left. These 2 archer units out of his entire army, just 2 archer units left. And if we look at Fesen as well, if you look at this one, if you look closely, look, can you see that one unit has got 1 man in? Can you see 1 man? That unit's got more, but that one unit there has got 1 man in. That's all he's got. And that unit's got 21 men in. He kept his general safe there, so that was a good move. So he's only got 3 units left out of his entire army. So that just goes to show how close this battle was. Romex got 2 units left, and Fesen's got 3 units left. And that's it. That's all they've got. So it does just go to show, doesn't it, how intense the fighting was and how tough this battle was. Okay, let's go up to triple speed there as you know, as the battle's over, really. Okay, the first thing I'd like to say is really, really well played to everybody in the game. I thought there were some great moves in this game by both teams. I was surprised it was a clear victory. When I saw the troops we had left, I thought it would be average. And the highest kills in the battle goes to Brotherhood member Spark, 1,784 kills for his Macedonian army. So well done to him. Well done to Get Jacked. He'll be a bit disappointed he didn't get 1,000 kills, but I thought he was very aggressive with Seleucid. Well done to Barclayman. I think he got the 2nd highest kills in the game with his Carthage army there. Well done to him. Well done to Tabor, managed to get over 1,000 kills. Remember, he only had 8 infantry in his army, so I think he did really well there. So well done to him. Royer 35 will be a bit disappointed, but I think that Britannia army was an experimental army. And of course, whenever you experiment, you always get things that go wrong. So really well played, guys. And my kills, that's unusual, around 1,100 kills. Very unusual, that. So I was quite pleased with that. As I say, well done to Spark, highest kills in the game. Did very well with Macedon. And well done to Fesen, third highest kills in the game with his Julia army, played really well. GoTW Romex possibly be a bit disappointed because he got less than 1,000 kills, but I thought he played well with Pontus. And who had faction advantage? They had Seleucid, Carthage, Rome and Britannia. I think that's quite a solid team there. And we had Rome, Macedon, Rome and Pontus there. So which team do you think had faction advantage? Please leave your thoughts in the comments about that. And I hope you enjoyed this battle. There were some great movements by both teams and some good battlefield awareness, I thought, in this battle. See you soon.